Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Big news coming your way today, and I mean huge news. It's been all over the headlines, it's the talk of the town, and if you haven't heard it yet, trust me, you won't want to miss this. The Dallas Cowboys have made a massive move this offseason. They've landed a game-changing superstar that will completely alter the landscape of the NFL this year. We're talking about none other than Tyreek Hill, the Cheetah himself, joining the Cowboys. If you're a Cowboys fan, buckle up, because we've got a whole lot to talk about. In today's video, we're breaking down how this signing could impact the Cowboys season, how Tyreek Hill fits into their offensive scheme, and why this could be one of the most important moves in the franchise's history. Before we dive into the specifics of the trade, let's just take a moment to recap who Tyreek Hill is for anyone who might be living under a rock. Tyreek Hill, drafted in the 5th round of the 2016 draft by the Kansas City Chiefs, quickly made a name for himself as one of the most explosive and dynamic wide receivers in the league. He's earned multiple Pro Bowl selections, All-Pro honors, and of course, a Super Bowl ring with the Chiefs in 2019. Hill's speed is legendary. We're talking about a guy who can run a 40-yard dash in 4.29 seconds, one of the fastest times ever recorded. That kind of speed has earned him the nickname Cheetah, and it's a nickname that's well-deserved. Whether it's burning defenders on deep routes or taking short passes and turning them into long gains, Hill has always been a nightmare for opposing defenses. But beyond the speed, it's his playmaking ability that sets him apart. He's a game changer who can take over a game in the blink of an eye. Whether it's catching a quick slant for a 75-yard touchdown or returning a punt for a score, Hill has consistently proven he can be the difference maker. And now, that explosiveness is headed to Dallas. Now let's talk about what Tyreek Hill brings to the Dallas Cowboys. This is a team that already has a ton of talent on both sides of the ball. Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Micah Parsons. The Cowboys have some of the biggest stars in the league, but there's always been one area where they've struggled: consistency on offense, particularly in the passing game. The Cowboys have had some great receivers in recent years: CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup. But none of them have the same kind of game-breaking ability that Hill brings. Imagine pairing Tyreek Hill with a quarterback like Dak Prescott, who's shown time and time again that he can be effective when given the right weapons. The possibilities are endless. With Hill now in the fold, it gives Prescott a legit deep threat every time he drops back to pass. Defenders will no longer be able to play tight coverage underneath without worrying about Hill blowing past them. If the defense plays too soft, Hill will burn them for a big gain. Play too aggressive? Hill can make you pay with a quick move and a wide-open route. It's also worth noting that Hill's ability to stretch the field will open up opportunities for the other receivers on the roster. CeeDee Lamb is already one of the top young receivers in the NFL, and now with Hill commanding attention on the other side of the field, Lamb should be able to operate more freely. The same goes for Gallup, who's coming off a solid 2024 season. All of a sudden, the Cowboys' receiving core looks even more dangerous than it did before this signing. But it's not just the receiving core that benefits. Hill's presence opens up things for the running game, too. With defenses having to respect Hill's deep speed, they'll have to back off on the secondary, giving Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard more room to run the football. A balanced offense with this much firepower? That's exactly what the Cowboys need to take them to the next level. So, why did the Cowboys feel the need to make this move? For starters, they've been in a win-now situation for a few years now. They've had a solid roster, but there's always been the feeling that they've been just a piece or two away from truly competing for a Super Bowl. With Tyreek Hill joining the roster, the Cowboys now have that extra piece, the game-breaking talent that could make all the difference. Another reason for this move is the NFC's growing competition. The Eagles are coming off a Super Bowl appearance, and teams like the 49ers, Rams, and Packers continue to build strong rosters. In a conference that's becoming increasingly competitive, the Cowboys needed to ensure that they didn't fall behind. By adding Hill, they've made a statement they're all in on competing for a championship this season. Moreover, Dallas has been criticized in recent years for being too predictable on offense. It's been no secret that they've struggled at times to move the ball down the field in a consistent, explosive way. With Hill, that issue is no more. Now they can hit you from every angle. Short passes, deep balls, trick plays, you name it. Hill gives the offense a versatility they've been lacking. Now, let's talk about how the Cowboys can utilize Tyreek Hill in their offense. First off, Hill can absolutely play the X receiver role, where he'll line up on the outside and run vertical routes to stretch the defense. But he can also be used creatively. Think of motioning him pre-snap to create mismatches, lining him up in the slot, or even using him out of the backfield for gadget plays. Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore has a lot of options here. One of the most effective ways to utilize Hill is to get him the ball quickly in space. The Cowboys can run screens, bubble routes, and quick slants that get the ball in Hill's hands and let him do the rest. With his speed, once Hill catches the ball, he can take it the distance on any given play. The more opportunities you give him to make plays after the catch, the more dangerous he becomes. Additionally, the Cowboys can use Hill in deep ball situations. He's one of the best in the NFL at tracking long passes, and with a quarterback like Prescott, who has a big arm, the connection between those two could be something special. You'll see defenses having to play coverages that account for Hill's speed, and that will create huge opportunities for other players in the offense. Let's talk about what this signing means for the NFC East. The Cowboys have long been one of the most storied franchises in the league, but recently it's been the Philadelphia Eagles who have dominated the division. The Cowboys have been close, but just haven't been able to get over the hump. However, with Tyreek Hill now joining the team, the division just became a whole lot more interesting. With Hill on board, the Cowboys now have one of the most explosive offenses in the division, if not the entire NFC. The Eagles, Giants, and Commanders will have to deal with Hill on the field, and if you're an NFC East defensive coordinator, you're already starting to sweat thinking about trying to stop him. The addition of Hill could very well swing the balance of power in the NFC East, and that's going to make the division race one to watch. But it's not just the Cowboys and the NFC East that are feeling the impact of this move. The signing of Tyreek Hill sends shockwaves through the entire NFL. Teams are going to have to adjust to this new-look Cowboys offense, and the ripple effect will be felt across the league. You can bet that other teams in the NFC and AFC will now have to take the Cowboys more seriously as a contender. Hill's signing also opens up new strategies for teams on defense. You can't just focus on stopping Dak Prescott anymore. Now you have to account for one of the most dangerous playmakers in the league. And that will change how defensive coordinators game plan, forcing them to think differently about how they want to defend the Cowboys. But at the end of the day, Tyreek Hill is the kind of player that can single-handedly elevate a team's chances of winning the Super Bowl. With his speed, his route running, and his ability to make plays in clutch moments, Hill gives the Cowboys something they've been missing, a true game breaker. So, what do you think about Tyreek Hill joining the Dallas Cowboys? Is this the move that puts them over the top and propels them into Super Bowl contention? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think this signing will impact the rest of the NFC East and the NFL as a whole? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss any of our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Go Cowboys!